Okay, so here I am doing my punishment for stomping grounds for, not guessing correctly again. And since there is such a thing as Christmas in July, it's July now, and the Extreme Rules is right around the corner, because gosh, we're going to get breathing room between these pay-per-views, I decided that the bad pay-per-view I would watch on the WWE Network is ECW December to Dismember, which is a really good name. But this one is one of the more infamous WWE pay-per-views, and it's always on the top of like bad lists. I know it's on top of What Culture's bad pay-per-view lists of like either the 2000s or of all time. I don't know. Everyone talks about how horrible it is the only single pay-per-view from the WWE ECW brand. They were folded into all the co-branded pay-per-views after this. And I'm not going to go over each match because I don't want this video to be too long, and Brian Zane already did that, so go check out his review on Wrestling with Regret. It's really good. So yeah, like I said, I've heard this is a really bad one. I've heard about it. It's really infamous. The finish really pissed a lot of people off, from what I understand, and just it's really bad. So what did I think of it? It's okay. It's there. It exists. Like, I really was expecting this to be way worse than what it actually is, the way people talk about it. Like, I expected there to be all sorts of botches, screwy finishes, like horrible commentary, horrible promos, things like that. As it is, it's kind of like a WWE pay-per-view now, like one of the lesser ones. It's a hell of a lot shorter. Like, oh yeah, I forgot they used to be just 2 hours. That was easy to get through. When the main event came up, I was like, oh shit, we're at the main event already. I didn't feel tired. So maybe that's why I'm not upset. It's like, it wasn't that good, but it flew by. So, But yeah, like, it is interesting to go back and watch, because this is from 2006, to see who is either still in the company now or came back. Because the first match had the Hardys in it, and I forgot they were still with the company at the time. The Big Show was in it. Bobby Lashley was in the main event. I remember Holly was still there at the time. I'm trying to remember if there's anyone else. Maybe that's it, but still, like, there's like, oh yeah, the Hardys were here, and they fought M&M, which is Mercury. I forget her name now. Naomi. No, not Naomi. Damn. This is Mercury, Nitro, and Melina. Jesus. Off to a good start. That's how much they made an impression on me. I remember Nitro because he then later went on to be John Morrison. And when I started getting back into wrestling, he was there. So, but yeah, like their match was actually pretty good because it was the Hardy Boys at their prime. It's weird to see Jeff without all the weird face paint. I forgot he didn't do that. I forgot their entrance had pyro. Like, this still had pyro, so that was nice to see. Yeah, that one was good. It's just what got me is like the M&M's manager, Melina, like, apparently her thing was every once in a while she would just scream. It was just ear-piercing, and I hated every second of that. If it was supposed to be annoying, good fucking job there. Like, I just watched it, and I'm struggling to remember what happened, so that's the impression it made. I know the Elimination Chamber, the Extreme Elimination Chamber, because they had weapons, like, everyone talks shit about that. It wasn't that bad, as far as their things. Oh, Test was still there. He sadly passed away, and like, took his life a few years, but I forgot he was still in the company. He looks weird with the short hair and the trunks. But, like, yeah, the Extreme Elimination Chamber is a thing I feel they could probably do now. It's not a bad concept to put weapons in with the pods. Wouldn't be unprotected chair shots. That was, oof. Knowing what we know now, that was cringe-inducing to watch. But yeah, like, my understanding is a lot of people were upset. They wanted CM Punk to win the ECW title, and Bobby Lashley won it. Bobby Lashley, however, still boring. Still don't care for him. Even his music was worse. At least he had upgraded music. He had pyro, though. We need to bring that back. But you still couldn't cut a promo to save his life. Oof, they should really bring back Leo Rush for him. They do. They really need to. Yeah, like, I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm not gonna rage and scream like I did Furry Vengeance because it didn't piss me off that much. It was just there. I can't even go into many of the match details other than the intergender tag match with Kevin Thorne, the vampire character, who I remember from the first episode of the new ECW when it debuted on Sci-Fi, and they had the zombie and the vampire. But there was him and Ariel, which is hilarious now because of the Ariel controversy with the Disney one, versus Kelly, who came back for the first Women's Royal Rumble, was actually fairly decent in it, and Mike Knox, apparently a dick and a selfish boyfriend, and didn't like Kelly, had kind of a crush on CM Punk, and that's his whole gimmick. Oh, I don't know. But there's a point where, you know, Ariel tags in, so Kelly has to be in there, and, like, you can tell women's wrestling has come a long way since then. A lot of it was that Ariel wore this really tiny mini skirt that was lacy and had, like, a thong underneath it, so, like, there's her ass! There it is! Look at her ass! I mean, it was nice, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of a pervert, but, like, after I'm like, okay, it's an ass, I get it. Nothing spectacular to talk about in the wrestling. It happened. Mike left Kelly to get the shit beat out of her, so yay. He's a dick. I'm assuming something happened after that. Like, it's really weird watching pay-per-views and just the vacuum of not knowing what's going on. They have a hype package, but didn't have much. So, I don't know, like, you know, like I said, I'm not mad. I don't really regret I watched it. Like, it just exists. For all that's worth. I'm kind of rambling here and mostly padding out the video, I guess. Oh, I will say this. Kind of the problem they had then, they have now with the brand split, is it doesn't really freaking mean anything. Because they're talking about the Hardy Boys were on SmackDown. They issued a challenge to Eminem, and, like, the Great Khali was there. And he was attacking The Undertaker, and like they reference them having the Raw and SmackDown, while ECW is supposed to be its own brand. So they're moving all over the place, which is the problem the brand split had to begin with. The original brand split, that's where I fell out of it, because the idea was each show was its own brand. It was created because restarting WCW failed, and so they wanted to make the roster separate, like it was a different entity, but it never felt like that. And this is an example why. The ECW is supposed to be a revival of ECW. It's supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be like the grittier, more raw version, ironically enough. And it felt too polished. It felt nothing like ECW. So I see why people are mad about that. But I never really grew up with ECW, so I couldn't be upset. Like, it's funny how homogenous the WWE is, like, even back then. Because I look at it now, I'm like, yeah, this kind of feels like a modern pay-per-view. There are some differences. There's more LEDs now, and like I said, the length is fucking ridiculous. But there's stuff happening that I'm like, yeah, this is kind of what they've been doing for the last, that was 2006, so like 13 years. That's why they're failing now. But, yeah, oh, since I'm talking about this version of ECW, I do want to say, my personal history with it is, because like I said, I watched the first episode on Sci-Fi, and the first time I saw a commercial for it was after the penultimate episode leading up to the season finale of the revival of Doctor Who, and like, the commercial was very vague, and it was like just a lot of like brown stuff and wires and like, you know, a chanting voice you heard in the background. And, of course, the first season of Doctor Who back, they revealed the Daleks were back. And before they went to the big whole thing. And the dramatic overvoice was like, they have waited in darkness for years, but now they return to show the world they exist. Something like that. But, like, I was like, is this a promo for the freaking... Are they trying to exterminate? Is what it is? And then, ECW. I'm like, what? So yeah, that was my first experience with the return of ECW, and I watched the first episode. It's okay, and fell out of that rather quickly. And then the second exposure I've had to WWE ECW is this pay-per-view. Everything else I've heard online, through lists, What Culture, Cultaholics, some Brian Zane stuff, like I said. And yeah, like, it's... Like I said, I'm not mad. There's nothing to be mad about. If I was an ECW fan, like original ECW fanboy, I'd probably be pissed that Tommy Dreamer got beat by Daivari and the Great Khali, but... Oh yeah, Sandman showed up. His whole gimmick was he would go through the crowd and drink beer and smash the beer cans and wave his kendo stick to the tune of Metallica's Enter Sandman. Hence why he's the Sandman. That entrance only works if you play Enter Sandman, but the network did not. They put a crappy cover over it of some generic music, and boy does that kill any momentum his entrance ever had. He showed up, beat the shit out of Kevin Thorne, because it was after that match, and then left. I guess I could go into more storylines if you want, but, like, yeah, my overimpression is, it's okay. It exists. Alright. Yeah, so I guess I'll leave it at that. I'm going on to 12 minutes here, so probably should wrap this up. Nate and I will be back very soon with predictions for Extreme Rules, and then I'll reveal the punishment for that then. So, till next time, see ya!